The recently the bill, the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020. This is the bill which was recently passed. If you read again the name of the bill, Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill. The farmers, the produce which they bought from the agricultural market or agricultural land which they have, the produce, the trade and commerce related queries are settled in this bill 2020 to provide for creation of an ecosystem where the farmers and traders enjoy the freedom of choice relating to the scale and purchase of farmers produce, which facilitate remunerative prices. If you have to note, this remunerative prices also included in this bill through competitive market alternative trading channels, competitive alternative trading channels to promote efficient, transparent and barrier free interstate, it is mentioned clearly, free interstate and intrastate trade and commerce of farmers produce outside the physical premises of markets or deemed markets notified under various state agricultural produce market legislations. That is, suppose a farmer has produce in his land, so he can produce it outside the physical premises of the markets. Suppose a market is there in the near the agricultural land of a farmer, he is not entitled or he is not obliged to sell only the his produce there. So he can sell the market produce, he can sell his produce anywhere outside the market, notified under the state agricultural produce market legislations, outside these markets which are told by the market state legislations. So he can sell his produce anywhere to provide facilitative framework for electronic trading is also included in this, and for matters connected therewith and incidental thereto, be it enacted by the parliament in the 71st year of the Republic of India as it follows. So if we look at the act, what are the provisions that are mentioned in this Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020? If you look at clearly, this act may be called Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion Facilitation Act 2020. It shall be deemed to have come into force on 5th day of June 2020. In this act, unless the context otherwise requires, electronic trading and transaction platform means इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रेडिंग, जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रेडिंग होता है उसका क्या मतलब होता है? इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रेडिंग एंड ट्रांजैक्शन प्लेटफॉर्म्स मीन्स ए प्लेटफॉर्म सेटअप टू फैसिलिटेट डायरेक्ट एंड ऑनलाइन बाइंग ऑफ सेलिंग for conduct of trade and commerce of farmers produce through a network of electronic devices and internet applications where each such transaction results in physical delivery of farmer produce. In a simple terms, you can say it an Amazon app, which that is means for both for sellers and also the buyers. So it is nothing but an C2B or B2C network type of network, electronic trading platform. Farmer here means an individual engaged in the production of farmers produce by self or hired labor or otherwise, and includes the farmers produce organizations. It has clearly mean that either an individual or a group of people are formed as an organization who own the produce, that is clearly mentioned, that is self or otherwise labor or otherwise produced by self. Either the production is not mean, but who are engaged in the production of farmers produce is important here. The farmer produce means, so what are the farmer produce includes? These are foodstuffs and cattle fodder and also the raw cotton. So these are the three things that are included in the farmers produce: foodstuffs, cattle fodder and raw cotton. Foodstuffs include cereals like wheat, rice, other coarse grains, pulses, edible oils, vegetables, fruits, nuts, spices, sugarcane and product of poultry, piggery, goat, fishery and dairy intended for human consumption and its natural process form. Cattle fodder including oil cakes and other concentrates, and raw cotton where ginned or unginned cotton seeds and raw jute. Farmer produce organization, so we have already seen the farmer includes also farmer producer organization. So what is this producer organization? Farmer producer organization means an association or group of farmers, by whatever name called, registered under any law for the time being in force. So it is registered, first thing it is registered, and promoted under a scheme or a program sponsored by central or state government. So scheme must be there. so promoted under a scheme or program sponsored by the central government. So what is interstate trade? So we need a definitions of interstate and intrastate trade. So interstate, what is interstate trade? It means an act of buying or selling a farmer's produce wherein a trader of one state buys the farmer's produce from the farmer or trader of another state. So and such farmer's produce is transported to a state and another state in which the trader purchased such farmer's produce or where such farmer's produce originated. So clearly it is stated that is a farmer from interstate trade means from one state A to state B the trade is happening. So one more point it is to be noted that one state buys the farmer produce from the farmer or a trader of another state. Here included a trader, and here included a farmer or a trader of another state, and such farmers produce, suppose state A is buying farmers produce of state B, so another state and such farmers produce is transported to state other than the state which is trader purchased such other than the state in which the trader purchased such farmers produce or where such farmers produce originated. It is clear that farmers produce is transported to a state other than it is transported, where transport it is taken. So intrastate trade means act of buying or selling farmers produce. Trader of one state buys the farmer's produce from a trader of the same state. So here same state is a key. Intrastate is the same state, and in which the trader purchased produce such farmers produce originated, in which trader purchased such farmers produce or where such farmers produce originated. Notification means published by central government or state governments in official gazette, and expression notify and notified shall be constituted accordingly. Person includes an individual, a partnership or a company, limited liability partnership, and a cooperative society or a society, any association or prescribed, and so on. Any association or a body formed by the central government or a state government. Prescribed means the rules made by the central government under this act. Scheduled farmers produce means agricultural produce specified under the state APMC Act for regulation. Suppose I have a paddy field, so I produce paddy. So is it in the scheduled APMC Act? Then only this act verifies the following conditions. Though the state include the union territory, also includes the union territory. See, again you have to not to confuse that scheduled farmers produce means agricultural produce specified under any state APMC Act. So that is all the, what are the three things we have seen: foodstuff and cattle fodder, and also the cotton, both ginned and non-ginned. State APMC Act. So what is it? State means any state legislation or union territory legislation in force in India by whatever name called, which regulates markets, which regulates markets for agricultural produce in that state. Trade area. So what is this trade area? Means any local or area or location, place of production, collection and aggregation, including farm gates, factory premises, warehouses, silos, cold storages, or any other structures or places. So this is a trade area where the trade of the market produce is going to take place, whether it be farm gates or factory premises, from where trade of farmers produce may be undertaken in the territory of India, but does not include the premises, enclosures and structures consisting of physical boundaries of principal market yards, sub market yards and market sub yards, managed and run by the market committees formed under each state APMC Act in force in India. So it's clearly stated that it does not include the physical boundaries of the does not include the physical boundaries. That is, it clearly states that you can't trade only between the market yards. It clearly states that out of the market yards you can you can perform the trade operations of the farmers produce. And next thing, private market yards. So these are the private market yards. So it is clearly mentioned regarding the it clearly cancel the limitation or the boundary limitation of where the market produce trade takes place. And trader, who is a trader? Trader means a person who buys farmers produce by the way of interstate trade or intrastate trade or a combination thereof for self or on behalf of one or more persons for the purpose of wholesale trade, retail and end use, value addition process, manufacturing, export, consumption, or for such other purposes. So it's clearly states that who participates in both inter and intrastate, and also the value addition, retail, end use, value addition, processing, manufacturing, export, consumption. So all the performed tasks performed by a person or organization is called a trader. And next, and in the chapter 2, the promotion and facilitation of trade and commerce of farmers producer. So how the promotion and facilitation is done here: the freedom to conduct trade and commerce in a trade area, the trade and commerce of scheduled farmers producer. So subject to provisions of this act, any farmer or a trader or electronic trading and transaction platform shall have the freedom to carry the interstate or interstate trade and commerce in the farmers produce in the trade area. See, it is given in the trade area. And also the limitations of the trade area is been now lifted off. That is, trade area include any area that is mentioned above this above inside the India territory of India. Any trader may engage in interstate trade or intrastate trade of scheduled farmers produce with a farmer of another trader in the trade area. It is clearly mentioned, provided that no trader except the farmer producer organization or agricultural cooperative society shall trade in any scheduled farmers produce unless such a trader has a permanent account allotted number under the Income Tax Act 1961, or such any other document may be notified by the government. So here a condition has been kept: no trader except the farmer producer organization. Suppose trader, so I am a trader, you are a trader, and also the farmer producer organization is also a trader, also the cooperative society is registered under the Companies Act or Agricultural Societies Act is also a trader, shall be the shall trade in any scheduled farmers producer. But suppose you are an individual, so unless you have a PAN number that is allotted by the Income Tax Act, you cannot trade. So it is the PAN, permanent account number, is required to become a trader other than the farmer producer organization and agricultural cooperative society. The central government may, if it is on the opinion that it necessary and expedient in the public interest so to do, prescribe a system of electronic registration for a trader. So electronic registration for a trader is included, and modalities of a trade transaction and mode of payment for the scheduled farmers produce in a trade area. So, and modalities of and how to trade, the payment transaction types are also been set up, and also been of the trade transaction are scheduled. Mode of payment is also been settled by the central government. Next, every trader who transacts with a farmer shall make payment for the traded scheduled farmers produce on the same day. See, on the same day, within the 24 hours, within the maximum 3 working days, within the on the same day, maximum 3 day, or within the minimum maximum dead limit 0 to 24 hours to 3 working days is given the deadline, if procedurally so required, subject to the condition that the receipt of delivery mentioning the due payment amount shall be given to the farmer on the same day. So agar if given receipt, then the condition has been lifted off. So basically, what is the time limit given? 24 hours to 3 working days, the transaction must be completed, provided that the central government may prescribe a different procedure of payment by farmer producer organization or agricultural cooperative society by whatever name called, linked with receipt of payment from the buyers. So government may prescribe separately for a different procedure for the farmer organization, farmer producer organization or agricultural cooperative societies. Any person, so what is this now? Any person other than the individual, any person having the PAN number allotted by the Income Tax Act 1961 or such other document as may be notified by the central government, or any farmer produce organization or agricultural cooperative societies may establish and operate. And see here central government for will take care of farmer produce organization and also the agricultural cooperative society, right? So the persons who are having the PAN number from the Income Tax Act 1961 and also the notified by the central government, so for them and also the farmer produce organization plus agricultural cooperative society may establish and operate an electronic trading and transaction platform. So we have seen that electronic trading and transaction platform for facilitating interstate or intrastate trade and commerce of scheduled farmers produce in the trade area, provided that persons establishing and operating an electronic trading and transaction platform shall prepare and implement the guidelines for free trade practices such as mode of trading, fees, technical parameters including interoperability with other platforms, logistics arrangements, quality assessment, timely payments, dissemination of guidelines in the local language of the platform operations. Indirectly, nothing but free and fair and online trading platform must be created by such companies or by such traders. It is all about that free and fair interoperability platforms. If the central government is the opinion that it is necessary that expedient in public interest so to do, it may for electronic trading platforms. It is regarding the electronic trading platforms by rules specify the procedures, norms and manner of registrations, and specify the code of conduct, that is indirect they have to establish. But if the in the public interest, central government may also suggest or necessarily give the opinion regarding the procedure and the norms, code of conduct, technical parameters including the interoperability with the other platforms and modalities of trade transactions, including the logistics arrangements and quality assessment of scheduled farmers produce and mode of payment, for facilitating fair interstate trade and intrastate trade and commerce of scheduled farmers produce in trade area. No market fee or cess, see it is clearly mentioned, no market fee or cess or levy by whatever name called under any state APMC act or any other state law shall be levied on any farmer or trader or electronic trading and transaction platform for trade and commerce in scheduled farmers produce in trade areas. Previously what are the taxes or cess levied by the APMC act or APMC mandis, all the taxes has been lifted off. No market fee or cess or levy has been levied on any farmer or any electronic trading platform in any electronic trading platform or transaction should not be levied, and commerce in the scheduled farmers produce in the trade area. And the central government may through any central government organization develop a price information and marketing intelligence system. Price information and marketing intelligence systems, it's nothing but an online stock market or what are the trend in the prices. In online and it must develop a price information and market intelligence systems for farmers produce and a framework for dissemination of information relating thereto. The central government may require any person owning and operating an electronic trading and transaction platform to provide information regarding such transactions as may be prescribed. Uh, who will establish this electronic trading transaction platform? The entity or the trader, indirectly the trader who established and operate these trading platforms, either farmers market organizations or agricultural cooperative societies. So the central government can require any person, one person from these platforms must provide information to the central government regarding all the transactions. For the purpose of this section, the expressed central government organization includes a subordinate or attached office, government owned or promoted company or society. In the chapter T, dispute resolution. If a dispute arises, so whom to concern? In case of any disputes arising out of the transaction between the farmer and a trader under section 4, suppose farmer and trader a dispute arises, the parties may seek a mutually acceptable solution through the conciliation. First thing is conciliation, that is a mutual talks by filing an application to the subdivisional magistrate SDM, who shall refer to such dispute to a conciliation board. Conciliation board to be appointed by him for facilitating the binding settlement of the dispute. Every board of conciliation appointed by the subdivisional magistrate collector under subsection 1 shall consist of a chairperson. For the committee which is constituted by the SDM, that is collector, the conciliation board. The chairperson consists, there shall be a chairperson, and such members shall not less than be 2 and not more than 4. Not less than 2 and not more than 4, that is 2 to 4, and as the SDM may deem fit. And the chairperson shall be the officer. Who is the chairperson? Shall be the officer serving under the supervision and control of SDM, and other members shall be persons appointed in equal numbers to represent the parties to dispute, and any other person appointed to represent a party shall be appointed on the recommendation of that party. So the party's opinion can also be taken by the SDM, provided that if any party fails to make such recommendations within 7 days, the SDM shall appoint such persons as if he thinks fit to represent that party, wherein in respect of any dispute a settlement is arrived at during the course of conciliation proceedings, a memorandum of settlement shall be drawn accordingly, signed by the both parties. That is, suppose a settlement is arrived, so is the next step in the conciliation proceedings? They have mutually, a committee is formed. SDM formed a committee, both the farmer and the trader reached there, they formed a solution, that is a settlement is made. A memorandum of settlement, MOS, shall be drawn, that is signed between the parties to such a dispute, which shall be binding upon the parties. if the parties to the transaction under subsection 1 are unable to resolve the dispute within the 30 days, suppose within 30 days the conciliation board has failed to solve the dispute in a manner set out under the section, they may approach the SDM. Again they have to go to the SDM concerned, who shall be a subdivisional authority for settlement of such dispute. If the conciliatory board failed to solve the dispute within the 30 days, then the concerned parties can reach to the SDM, subdivisional magistrate. The subdivisional authority, on its own motion or a petition or a reference from any government agency, take cognizance of any contravention of the provisions of section 4 or rules made there under and take action under subsection 1. That is, SDM has subdivisional authority has got the entire power in the name of the cognizance in the contravention of the provisions under section section 4 and subsection 7. The subdivisional authority shall decide the dispute or contravention under this section in a summary manner within 30 days from the date of its filing, and after giving the parties an opportunity to being heard, he may pass an order. So what are the powers? He may pass an order for the recovery of the amount under the dispute and impose a penalty. So he can also impose a penalty in the stipulated subsection, and pass an order for restraining the trader in a dispute from undertaking any trade and commerce of scheduled farmers produce directly or indirectly under this act for such a period it may deemed. That is, he first of all settles the money dispute between them, between the farmer and the trader, and also he stops the trader taking all the produce from the farmer either indirectly or directly. That is, he after the conciliatory board, SDM subdivisional authority acts as a main dispute contravention authority. Any party aggrieved by the order of SDM may prefer an appeal before the appellate authority, that is collector. SDM so suppose SDM also failed to solve the dispute, then or the aggrieved party, suppose SDM favor the farmer, then the aggrieved trader can also appeal to the before the appellate authority, the collector or additional collector nominated by the collector within 30 days of such order, who shall dispose of appeal within 30 days from the date of filing of such appeal. Every order of subdivisional authority or appellant authority under this section shall have force of the decree of civil court and shall be enforceable as such, and decretal amount shall be recovered as an arrears of land revenue. What is the meaning of this section 9? Every order of the SDM, that is who we went to SDM, or an appellant authority, that is who went to the collector under this section, shall have a force of the decree of civil court. That is the order which is passed by the either appellate authority or the subdivisional authority has an equivalent of a civil court and shall be enforceable as such. The powers. So the civil court power is being given to the subdivisional authority. The manner and the procedure for filing a petition, an application before the SDM and appeal before the appellate authority shall be such may be prescribed. So the how to apply that will be given. An agricultural marketing advisor, Directorate of Marketing and Inspection, Government of India, or an officer of a state government to whom such powers are delegated by the central government in consultation with the respective state government may, on its own motion or on a petition or on a reference from any central government agency, take cognizance of any breach of the procedures, norms, manner of registration and code of conduct, or any breach of guidelines for free trade practices by electronic trading and transaction platform established under section 5 or contravenes and the provisions of section 7, and by any order within 60 days from the date of receipt and for the reasons to be recorded he may. That is, so what is regarding this agricultural marketing advisor, for what it is required? Suspension or cancellation of right to operate an electronic trading and transaction platforms. Suppose I am a trader, I have established an electronic in consultation with the third party, I have established an electronic trading and transaction platform. Suppose there are mistakes, so suppose there are malpractices, so whom to ask, who can cancel my right as an electronic in establishing the electronic trading platform? So agricultural marketing advisor is required to supervise or the state governments all the trading platform transactions. So who is appointed, who appoints the agricultural marketing advisor officer or is of a state government to whom such powers are delegated by the central government? Actually is an officer of a state government, the powers has been delegated by the central government in consultation with the respective state governments on its own motion or a petition. These are all regarding that all the practices of the electronic trading. He is the main authority who supervises the electronic trading and these transactions has been taken. That is, app must be free and fair, right? So the free and fairness of the app is taken care of the agricultural marketing advisor. He can pass an order for the recovery for the amount payable, and he can impose penalty. He can pass an order and suspend the electronic he can suspend the electronic trading and transaction platform if he deems fit. So these are the powers are given to the agricultural marketing advisor, provided that no order for recovery of amount, imposition of penalty or suspension or cancellation of the right to operate shall be passed without giving the operator of such electronic trading and transaction platform an opportunity of being heard. That is, he must follow the due process of law. That is, both the parties, he must listen to the both the parties. Only after that the recovery amount must be taken. So being heard is the main important. Every order made under subjection 1 shall have a force of the decree of a civil court. Same, the civil court power has been ensured to him. And any person aggrieved by an order under section 9 may prefer an appeal within the 60 days from the date of such order to an officer not below the rank of a joint secretary to the government of India, to be nominated by the central government for this purpose. Suppose, again, with respect to the section 9, no, with respect to the agricultural market officer, so this agricultural marketing advisor is there. Suppose he is not, he is using his power, he is misusing his power, and he is doing partiality in favor of either farmers or in favor of only electronic trading platforms, even though there is a illegal or some um, even though there is an unequal process or biased some problems in the trading electronic trading platform, he approves it. So what does so other party, the other aggravated party or the concerned parties, opposing parties, must have a petition appeal, whom to appeal. So he can appeal to a officer, a person aggrieved by the not below the rank of a joint secretary. So he can appeal to such joint secretary rank officer to be nominated by the central government, provided that an appeal may be admitted even after the expiry date before the period of 60 days. This is the deadline which usually before the 60 days you have to appeal. So those were the similar deadlines. Every appeal made under this section shall be deemed in such a similar procedure of disposing an appeal shall be prescribed, and provided that before disposing an appeal, appellant should be given an opportunity of being heard. So the due process of law must be followed by any appellate authority. So these powers are limited by this not below the rank of a joint secretary officer. And next one is penalties. Whoever contravenes the provisions, so penalties are read, right? Thereunder they shall be liable to pay the penalty which shall be not less than 25,000. So penalty not less than minimum of 25,000 shall be paid by from the penalty, but which may be extended to up to 5 lakhs. So the maximum penalty is also fixed up to 5 lakhs penalty, where the contravention is continuing one. Further penalty not exceeding 5,000 rupees for each day after the first day during the contravention continues. That is, if he not pays, so again 5,000 rupees each day it will add to the it will add till he not pays. So 5,000 5,000 for each day is being added if he not pay the further penalty. If any person who owns, controls or operates of an electronic trading and transaction platform contravenes the provisions of section, this is between the parties, that is okay. Suppose what happens if the platform, electronic trading and transaction platforms is only having the mistake, or who operates it made contravenes the provisions, or not does not follow this act, he may be liable to pay the penalty of 50,000 rupees, but which may be extended 25,000 to 5 lakhs. This is 50,000 to 10 lakhs. So such a huge penalties, and 10,000 rupees are add-on penalty. That is, if you not pay the penalty on a given date, the 10,000 recurring will be added to the given penalty from the date of not paying. And this is the central government, for carrying out the provisions of this act, give such instructions, directions and orders necessary any state government or an authority to the central government. That is, central government is the head authority for this act. And electronic trading platforms, it can also give the any directions. All the directions has been given by the central government. It is no problem. And no suit, prosecution or other legal proceedings shall lie against the central government. It is clearly in the safe answer. It has been took that no suit and prosecution or legal proceedings shall be lie against the central government. It is our state government. That is, mm, or any officer of the state government or any other person in the respect of anything which is in good faith done or intended to be done under this act, or of any rules or orders made thereunder. That is, indirectly it is nothing but all the central government officer or the people or the person who is the decision making body or a person, whether in a good faith it is given, whether in a good faith, if it done to satisfy the legal justice or intended to be done under this act, what is the actual intention of this act, if he is able to done it in a good faith, so under him no suit or prosecution or legal proceedings shall lie against it. So it is clearly a it is clearly a reward or a safe protection for a true justice, that to be under the true justice or the meaningful solution that is to be delivered from this act. And the provisions of this act shall have effect notwithstanding anything inconsistent thereof in any state APMC act or any other law for time being in force, or any instrument having effect by virtue of any other law at the time being in the force. That is, uh, anything inconsistent with this act, this provision of this act shall be valid in effect, even if it affect the state APMC act, then also it is valid. This act will have an effect, overriding effect, you can call it as an overriding effect. And the bar of jurisdiction of the civil court, no civil court shall have the jurisdiction to entertain any suits or proceedings in respect of any matter, cognizance of which can be taken and disposed of by the authority empowered or by this under the act. No civil court have the jurisdiction. It simply means that, see, we have formed a conciliation board. SDM collector has been given the authority, appellate authority has been given to the SDM and additional collector. So they have given the power of a civil court. Again, the no civil court shall have the jurisdiction. That is, these cases cannot be taken to the civil court. The disputes between the trader and the person or the farmer produce organization shall not be go to the civil court. The act not to apply certain transactions, nothing withstanding contained in this act shall be applicable to the stock exchanges and clearing corporations recognized under the Securities Contracts Regulation Act 1956 and the transactions made there under. So suppose an act, so these are the certain acts, the act not to apply in certain transactions. Suppose a transaction has been applied in such act, securities contract, an exception has been provided, Securities Contracts Regulation Act, that is contract forming, suppose for a contract, so these has been exempted. The central government may by further notification make rules for carrying out the provisions of this act, that is modifications can be done by the central government in particular and without prejudice to the generality of the forgiving power. Such rules may provide for all the following matters, namely, a system of electronic registration must be provided, a procedure of payment must be given, that is, what are the central government, what are the things, what are the rules it can bring, and also the manner and procedure of filing a petition. So all these information regarding the transactions it will provide, and the form and manner of a fee payable and procedure for disposing of appeal, and such an orders must be taken by central government. Every rule made by the central government under this act shall be laid as soon as may be after it is made before each house of the parliament while it is in session for a total period of 30 days, which may be comprised in one session or in two or more consecutive sessions, and if therefore, that is, laying of rules. So how the rule is made, every rule is made in the by the central government under this act shall be laid. That is, suppose a rule is made by the central government, it must be laid on before the house of the parliament while it is in session for a total period of 30 days. It must be placed in the house of parliament before the expiry of the session, immediately following the session or the successive sessions aforesaid. That is, before the suppose the session is going to end, it is placed today, in the next session starting it must be brought to the without the expiry will not be happened of the bill, the rule newly. Both houses agree in making any modification of the rule. Both houses agree the rule should not be made. The rule shall thereafter have effect only in such a modified form or be of no effect as the case may be. So however, that any such modification or annulment shall be without prejudice to the validity of anything previously done under that rule. That is, both houses agree in making any modification in the rule, or both houses agree that the rule should not be made, it must be the final decision. Both houses have the final say on the rules. If any difficulties arises in giving effect to the provisions of the act, central government may by order published in the official gazette make such provision. That is, suppose any difficulty arises in the provisions of this act, the power to remove the difficulties is in the hands of the central government with the help of the official gazette. It can remove any difficulties in relation to this act. That is, central government has the power to remove any difficulties that are there in this act, it has the power, provided that no order shall be make such provisions and that are not inconsistent with the provisions of this act as may appear to it, it may be necessary for removing the difficulty, provided that no order shall be made under this section after the expiry of the period of the 3 years from the date of commencement of this act. So 3 years has been given as the maximum expiry period. Any order shall be made under this section after the expiry of the period of 3 years from the date of commencement of this act. Suppose an act or some provision, no order shall be made under this section after the expiry of the period of 3 years from the date of commencement of the act. Suppose in 2020 this act passed. Before 2023 itself, the government has to say any changes, but after the 2023, either the act must be struck down or it that is the only way you can clear. After the 3 years, no modification must be made, or no provision with respect to the modification or difficulties, that is the power to remove difficulties, is only within 3 years. Every order made under this section shall, as soon as may be after it is made, be laid before the House of the Parliament. Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce, Promotion and Facilitation Ordinance he is hereby repealed. So the previous Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce, Promotion and Facilitation Ordinance 2020 is repealed, and such this act is brought into force. Notwithstanding such repeal, anything done or any action under the aforesaid ordinance shall deem to have been done or taken under the corresponding provisions of this act. So this is the thing. There is a final. So this is the Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce Act. So why the need of an ordinance? When the act is bought, the ordinance is repealed. So this is the all the things that we have discussed regarding the. So this is all the things that we have read regarding the Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce, Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020. Sorry, this is an act now. The Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce, Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020. So this is all about the original act that is being discussed in the recently.